welcome to the Valentine's Day stand-up. Um, and who wants to get us started?
I can go if it's okay.
Yeah, sure.
Matali and I did get a chance to sync up, and we cut a PR on the work to remove the reading from standard in. That's still waiting for one more approval. Erwin, if you want to take a look at that, I know you were the one that was interested in that most.
I had a quick look, but I failed to approve it. Also, I did notice that the code coverage failed. I'm not sure if that's breaking or required.
I'll double check that with Chris before with you, Chris, before I merge, but I don't think it's anything. We didn't do anything. I don't think that's going to break code coverage.
Yeah, so it passed. So if you notice, like the bottom of the screen, it actually like shows the report. It's just because it went down like 0.1% that it marks the job as a fail.
Because we added one function earlier, so I mean, obviously.
Yeah, it went down 0.7%. So it's marking it as a fail, but the job itself passed. I think that's reasonable.
Okay, the job finished. Okay, just for me. So when I create such a PR, I just go here and do Pyrsia collaborators, right, Chris? And that will assign 2 people automatically.
That's it.
Okay, great. I will do that when I have my PR. But I'm a few ways.
Yeah, we probably ought to document that in the README, because I keep forgetting, and I keep doing I keep looking, and it's like I know it's not Pyrsia maintainers. I know it's not Pyrsia DevOps.
Yeah.
Add a comment to our PR that's open so that we remember to do it.
Yeah, and so Chris and I also did another PR. Anyway, those are my 2 updates. Thanks, guys.
Wonderful. Mithali, you want to add something to that, or?
Yeah, so I have my PR, one PR there, and for the second PR, I mean, I have all the test cases running, which also do the cleanup, but I forgot to check in because I started working on other thing for Vault plugin. Now, one question is that when I raised my PR, it automatically assigns to person. And I think that's the part of the automation. So I didn't have to put the Pyrsia collaborators. So since it automatically assigned to person, apart from that, should I also include other 2 like Pyrsia collaborators? Because
no, I think that's what we decided. That if it randomly assigns to people, that's fine.
There's no automation to assign people. So I will double check your PR and let you know if there's something you need to do.
Yeah, because and the 2 people as assigned, so suppose Shufe and I think Steve is assigned to my PR, would they get the notification for that?
Again, I need to check your PR to understand. What you said sounds a little suspicious, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, please do that. Thank you.
Okay.
And I have one more question. So my one task was blocked to actually put the package version in the Kademlia, and that was blocked because the Mark was doing the refactor and everything. So what do we want to do with that?
We can talk about it, Mithali, separately. See how much work needs to be finished from what Mark was doing, and see if that can be transferred to you, or figure out if that needs to be split or whatnot. I mean, how do we handle that, basically?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. What's going next, Steve?
Maybe I can go next because it's Johan. That's fine. Because I was looking into the libp2p for a while now, and especially in the integration with the integration test that Yuri started, and so I looked into the existing code that you already have, and that is there, and I think it's I have a much better view now on how this can be integrated so that we have an end-to-end test that goes through Docker and also uses the libp2p. So we discussed it this morning with Erwin, Yuri, and myself in a long brainstorm and discussion, and I think we can take over that that part.
So that is basically a required for the MVP discussion tomorrow. So please bring those thoughts tomorrow because that's according to me we need that for the MVP anyway. So I think that would be a good addition to the discussion tomorrow and on Thursday.
Yeah, definitely. Do you want this to be because I think we have a 30-minute discussion tomorrow? Do you want to discuss this up front, or do you want to discuss this on Thursday, Friday?
No, what I'll do is we'll do a 30-minute like a curtain raiser, like just see how many people have collected their thoughts around MVP and have a short discussion around it so that we can then have a follow-up, right? And then that will give some people who are still figuring out what is expected some kind of a structure.
Right. Okay. So then for now I can just say that I'm working on I'm still working on the lib P2P and focus on the integration part, making sure that it works with all the other components.
Yeah. Okay. Arvind, you want to add something to it?
I have nothing to add at this point.
Okay. Steve?
Yep. So just wrapping up the document that we need for the OpenSSF, and then just doing the last little bit of cleanup on the GCP side. After that, I'll be looking to pick up something new to work on.
Okay. Christian?
Yeah, I'm working on my tests. I had a call with Shufei and Chris this morning. Chris, if you're available, I'd like to actually talk about this code and some of these compile issues I'm having, and just get your input. But yeah, I would really love to have a pull request in either tomorrow or Wednesday so that we can actually review it.
Okay.
Brian.
Shufei, Chris, anything?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. First, thanks the Chris and Christine review my PI. So today I could merge my PI to the code base. The second, I focus on the debugger and refactor the serious and the deserious the function. Yeah, that's all. I hope I could create a new PR before Wednesday. Yeah, that's all.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Chris?
Friday was I synced up with Lori and showed her the work that I was doing on the website, and I got the green light for that. So I will be I got a quick little demo for everybody today, as well as I worked on the blog that I've been writing, the technical blog for the JFrog site. So thank you, Suhindra, for your feedback. I updated my Google Doc. If you have a minute to check that out, that'd be great.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I saw a bunch of things on there. Yeah.
And yeah, it's a bunch of blockchain stuff, a bunch of technical writing stuff.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, for me, I picked up on writing my Rust test and then figured out that there was a what do you call data type mismatch. So I'm trying to get the data types to match for what is expected and what happens during the test. So I'm making slow progress on my Rust testing, but I spent a significant amount of time writing up my view of what the path to MVP would be. So maybe I'll share that tomorrow to see where other people are, and then Steve and Chin, you can add more context to that.
Yep, sounds good.
Yeah. Okay.
One last thing. I just saw an email notification come through for the Pyrsia open source Gmail account. Somebody needs the PIN number. Was that you, Chris, by chance? It may have been Lori.
Okay, maybe Lori. Okay. I'll find out what that is and then respond to that. Oh yeah, on that, I received an update from CDCon that my proposal was not accepted because I did an early submission, so it was not accepted as part of the early submission. So if you wanted to submit more Pyrsia talks, there is still time and room. so do the. I think February 18th is when the last day is for that. So. But I'm going to continue to submit to a bunch of others. Hopefully one of them gets accepted.
Oh, and on a totally, now you bring up the CDF. The CD events project is looking for a couple quotes for a PR request. So they're looking. So if you or Steven want to do a quote, we can get it in for that.
Yeah, I can probably help out with that.
Okay, I'll touch base with you offline.
Yep, sounds good.
No,
Thanks.
Sweet. Okay. Okay, Chris, you said you had a demo. I can stop sharing. Chris, are you saying something? We can't hear you.
Two computers. I clicked unmute on the wrong computer. Thank you.
Okay, now we can hear you. Yeah.
So when we spoke with the marketing team, they had quite a bit of feedback of things they would like to see added to the website and some of the requests and things they wanted. So when we broke out, we talked a lot about content and some of the website layout and the features that were missing. And I had asked if we could try using a different technology that had more of the features pre-built in. So if you remember when Elliot did his blog post, it was missing like the author. Well, there's no blogs. It was missing like author and tags and dates, and there was very minimal information. So with all of that in mind and some of the content changes that we wanted to make, I've been working on this on the side. So this is going to be the base of our new website layout, and we're going to be working with the designer to come up with some of the graphics, because there's definitely a lot more we want to do with this, but I think it's going to be a good starting point. So you have a little bit of a different layout with some of like the key elements that the Pyrsia project is working for. I have this section at the bottom, which is why Pyrsia. And I think this week's conversation about MVP is really going to help me, because I'm trying to get a page for like the vision of what Pyrsia is trying to obtain. And it's been a little bit vague and unclear to me. So hopefully this week we'll have more information to fill in with the website.
Hey, did you get any feedback on that particular page?
I just submitted this to Lori and Juan, and they were asking if we wanted more feedback from Steven Chin and yourself. So
yeah. So the only comment on the page you showed, the team photo page, I would reverse. I would put why Pyrsia first and team photo later. Meaning the project, in my opinion, the project is more important.
Yes. I'm actually hoping to move this to a separate page. And it'd be linked at the top for like goals of Pyrsia.
Okay.
Because I absolutely agree, like why Pyrsia should be higher up on the page. I absolutely agree. Very good feedback. So the fun thing is that this already has built-in support for authors with their little photos. And because it's a React-based web framework, you can do fun things like you can actually embed web code into your website. So you can actually make your blog posts interactive. Like this one says, click me, and you get a nice little pop-up box. It's quite a basic example, but you can do literally anything with this. So I've been working on translating some of the old content into some new pages. And I would like to break it down into a technology section and a developers hub section. And there's just a generic overview page that I haven't started on yet. Just me playing around with some ideas, so don't mind that one. And there's nice navigation links. You can edit the page on GitHub. It's hard to see, but if I'll point at my computer monitor so you can't see anything. But it says at the bottom of the link, it's github.com Pyrsia, so you can actually edit the pages in line, which is the same thing that Steve had done on the original website. And should carry over all the functionality and just add some more.
Oh, okay.
I know Abhishek wanted to work on a few things as well. So I have a community page that has the same information. I copy pasted it for verbatim. It's just all on one page now. And I might get him to help me make a better looking calendar. This is the standard one from Google that they provide. And hopefully we can do a little bit better with the help of the graphic designer team.
Yeah. When you say Abhishek, you mean Abhijit, right? Because Abhishek is from Google. Abhijit is the student from India.
I apologize for my inability to pronounce
Sorry.
foreign names
Sorry.
very well, but yes, thank you for
Sorry,
correcting
yeah.
me.
Yeah.
I don't want to disrupt your flow, but I will point out you had a typo on the previous page, Chris.
On this page?
No, the one before it. There you go.
Which one is it? Is it mountains?
The mountains.
Yeah.
Mountains, yeah.
You don't like
Yeah.
mountains?
Mutains.
There's no N. Mutains.
Yeah. I like mutains. I'm just not sure what they are.
And my question was going to be along the same lines. To change content, like typos and all of that, it's still simple, right? It's still easy to go in and change content. Design is a different situation.
Yeah, so like these pages here are just markdown pages. So
Yeah,
they're
okay,
very,
great.
very, very easy to work with. So before we had HTML with like rollout scripts that would like render them, this is just pure markdown. And what I actually want to do is move a lot of the documentation into the main Pyrsia repo.
Yeah.
And just copy that straight into the build script. And this way, all the documentation will be in one Pyrsia repo.
Place. Yeah.
So like, especially like the developers hub, this is like how developers get set up and working, right? So if you notice in our README right now, we have like a long listed steps to get set up with the Docker setup, how you can make changes. Baruch worked a lot about this with Suhindra from what I can see. And like having all of that also captured into the website seamlessly, I think is going to be a huge advantage because then we have one copy of the documentation to write instead of two.
Yes, and we have been ready for that refactoring. I think now is the time, being to remove Pyrsia documentation repo if you want, move things around, and
yeah. So that's another great point. Like we could put all of this in one repository. I'm not 100% sure if that's the best thing to do, but it's definitely an option that we have. So I don't think.
Yeah, the one thing I found with having the majority of the document, not necessarily the majority of the documentation, but pieces, let's put it that way, pieces in separate repos is you don't get backed up with PRs and stuff like that and weird conflicts. Because somebody forgets to fetch before they did their PR and stuff like that. That's one thing I've noticed when you're working with the website and documentation on our projects.
Yeah. Also, the personalities or roles are different when you work on a website versus when you work on code, and yeah. So we should talk about that. But yeah, less scattered is better. But still, we need to maybe split depending on responsibilities.
Yeah. So my intention right now is that the technology section is really going to be more of the high level overview. That's more of like the marketing material, and I think that could be left outside, but I think the developers hub could be all within the Pyrsia repo. So if you're a developer looking at our website, trying to see like, oh, how do I get started today? It's all there. And if you go to our GitHub, it would be the exact same information.
Exact same thing. Yeah.
And I think that's going to really give us an edge on terms of just the time and energy it takes to maintain this kind of stuff, which is a lot. So
Yep.
The other thing that I've done in the past is you do a docs subdomain. So you have the main website, then you have a docs subdomain that you're able to point to. That's under this exact same framework and stuff. Just another option for you to kind of separate, but still have things together.
I think the real question is do we want the markdown for the website in the main repo, or do we want a website repo? Right. I mean, that's really the question, isn't it?
I think we hinted that we want the website repo because there is a lot of content that is marketing focused, but the developer content where a developer is going to look, that should come from the main repo, and that should be like once a developer edits, it should be immediately available and it should reflect the same thing on either on the website or the GitHub.
Yeah, and for the marketing guys who are less familiar with like React development, I also want them to be able to write their stuff in Markdown and easily add images. So
yeah, I don't want to do React. If I'm fine with doing Markdown if you'd like me to, but please
I'm gonna
don't
force you to do Markdown. That's what I'm gonna force you to do. So
I don't mind doing Markdown. Yeah, I'll do
Perfect.
React if you really want me to, but you don't want me to. Trust me.
Yeah, so it should be easy for everybody, and that's the goal, right? We want to have the lowest possible bar to entry, especially when it comes to writing documentation. This should be something that everybody should be able to do. And hopefully with this layout and with this framework, we can have that.
Yeah, and the three types of personas that you have is one is like the marketing person that's going to be interested in the website part. Then you're going to have a contributor section on how to contribute, and then you're going to have the actual product documentation. So those are kind of like the three high level personas that you kind of have to deal with.
That's it for me. Was there any other questions?
So it's going to be available later today.
So there's still quite a bit more that I need to set up and get working. So I'm definitely not going to make this live, but I have a repository. So if anybody's interested in looking at the code or being a little bit more involved, just let me know.
Okay.
Can I also ask on that on the pages where there are going to be images, how is that going to be handled in the Markdown, or is it? Like, is the image content separate from the, yeah.
Yeah, so it's just like regular Markdown. So
it'll just be an image tag in there.
Oh, that's not the right page. Oh.
Yeah, I didn't mean to put you on the spot like that, man. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're really making me dig today. Oh, I can't find any. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. It's regular Markdown, so it's how you would link an image on GitHub.
Okay,
yeah.
so with like the bracket 1, close bracket, colon, link, and then okay.
Same thing, yeah. Okay.
It's pure Markdown. It's pure Markdown. They even have like a fancy Markdown extension, but you don't even need to worry about that. So
No.
just regular Markdown.
And a PR. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yep. Thanks, Chris.
All right, team. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
Bye. Thank you.